All right. As you've seen on the previous two slides, you should have seen two different paragraphs along with a math term and math tips. For this next section of the lesson, we are going to chunk questions 2 and 3 together. So, let's take a look at question number 2. Question number 2 says, define each term using the undefined terms, and it wants you to find the words ray, collinear points, and coplanar points. That's the first part. For part 2, or question 3, you should be defining each term using the already defined terms. And you want to define complementary angles and supplementary angles. I want you to work with your partner or your table mates for the next 5 minutes on this particular part. Again, I'm going to give you 5 minutes. So go ahead and pause the video now. Work with your table mates on completing questions 2 and 3. As you can see, the answers to question number 2 have been provided for you. I want to go ahead and put these up along with looking at the answers to question number 3. Let's see if we can get them all in there at the same time. All right. So I want to talk about the difference between question 2 and question 3. If you look at question 2, notice the words that you use in those definitions. Ray. A ray is a line bounded by an endpoint, extending indefinitely in one direction. We have this collinear points. They are points lying on the same line. And then we have coplanar, which are points that lie on the same plane. Notice the terminology that's used in that compared to the terminology that's used here in question 3. Question 3 says, two angles whose measures have a sum of 90 degrees. We haven't defined the word angles. It's not one of our undefined terms. But they did right here in this paragraph. It says an angle is defined as a figure formed by two rays with common endpoints. Okay. Here, two angles. Again, we had to define the word angle before we could go ahead and define this word. So keep that in mind as you go into the debriefing questions on the next slide.